Released in 2014, the Polaris RZR XP 1000 was the best performing sports side-by-side on the market when we first tested it a decade ago. To this day, we consider the RZR XP 1000 the measuring stick among the naturally aspirated 1-liter sports side-by-sides due to its incredibly well-rounded performance. For its 10th year, the RZR XP 1000 received its most significant round of mechanical and styling updates for 2024. Originally designed as a whoop-pounding West Coaster, for 2024, Polaris substantially updated the RZR XP with a focus on multi-terrain use. Performance has been enhanced, with serious effort having been spent improving build quality and attention to detail, while modernizing its design. To celebrate its 10-year anniversary and see how the highly updated 2024 model performs, we ordered up a new RZR XP 1000 and headed to Haspin Acres Off-Road Park in Laurel, Indiana. There, we met up with test drivers Eric Jones and CJ Haney to give the 2024 RZR XP 1000 a proper East Coast Trail shakedown. UTV On Demand's test of the 2024 Polaris RZR XP 1000 has been brought to you by Make staying in contact simple with the wireless PackTalk Edge ORV communication system from Cardo. Dynamic mesh communication provides up to a 1-mile range between units and up to 5 miles in larger groups. Water, dust, and mud-proof, it offers easy in-helmet installation with sound by JBL. Offering hands-free voice-activated operation with up to 13 hours of talk time on a single charge. PackTalk is ideal for both in-car and car-to-car communication, allowing you to connect up to 15 units at one time. Ideal for side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, or any other type of off-road use.
You guys ready?
We're ready.
Roll it.
Learn more or order yours now at cardosystems.com. Planet Side-by-Side makes upgrading your ride fast and affordable with their price match guarantee and free shipping on orders over $99. A leader in wheel and tire packages, they stock System 3, Maxxis, ITP, Fuel, Method Race wheels, and more. Planet Side-by-Side serves your off-road audio needs with brands like Wet Sounds, SSV Works, and Rockford Fosgate. For all your side-by-side needs with no interest financing available, visit planetsidebyside.com. Side-by-side oil change kits from Maxima Racing Oils feature premium products packaged together for streamlined side-by-side service. Kits include a Pro Filter oil filter, crush washer, and Maxima side-by-side synthetic oil. Available at power sports dealers everywhere, or have it shipped straight to your door at maximausa.com. Updated styling. At first glance, you can't miss the updated styling, featuring a look more in line with the Pro XP, Turbo R, and Pro R models. With the new look comes improved function, starting with high-quality half doors on all models. The hood has been smoothed out and steepened, providing a better view of the trail. Air ducts on the front of the rear fenders direct air toward the engine and CVT for improved heat mitigation, plus more updates we'll cover later in this review. Trim packages. Available in both 2- and 4-seat models. Examining the 2-seat configurations, trim packages start with the budget-friendly RZR XP 1000 Sport at $20,999. The $22,999 XP 1000 Premium adds 4-point harnesses, a poly roof, an upgrade from 29 to 30-inch tires, featuring a square tire setup. The Premium package also includes premium body paint and graphics, a PMX2 head unit, and Rockford Fosgate Stage 1 2-speaker audio. Our test unit is the $25,999 RZR XP Ultimate. It features Polaris' highly regarded Ride Command GPS infotainment system with a 7-inch touchscreen. Replacing the instruments found on the other models, it adds a ton of functionality, including displaying the image from the included backup camera and controlling the 4-speaker Rockford Fosgate Stage 3 audio system powered by an external 400-watt amp. Exterior LED accent lights were added front and rear, in addition to interior LED floor lighting. To power additional accessories, the 660-watt charging system was upgraded to 900 watts on the RZR XP Ultimate. Engine performance. The RZR XP is powered by a 999cc parallel twin-cylinder engine featuring 4 valves and double overhead cams per cylinder. For 24, it received a boost in performance accompanied by a huge effort to improve transmission and drivetrain durability. Horsepower was increased from 110 to 114. This was accomplished with new pistons raising the compression ratio from 11 to 12.5 to 1, thanks in part to the addition of a knock sensor. The higher compression was accompanied by a new combustion chamber design. The exhaust valves increased in size from 29 to 32 millimeters, along with revised intake and exhaust porting for improved flow. The head is now vented to prevent air bubbles from forming in the cooling system and causing issues. The intake manifold was redesigned to increase torque across the usable power range, paired with a redesigned exhaust and recalibrated fuel mapping. While not actually increasing power, the mapping of the drive-by-wire throttle has been changed to increase the fun power delivery characteristic of the engine. Polaris tells us you can run as low as 87 octane fuel, recommending 91 octane for best performance. The primary transmission still features high and low forward ranges, plus neutral, reverse, and park. This year, the CVT received larger clutches with beefed-up stainless steel sliders on the primary clutch. Thanks in part to larger cooling fins on the clutches, the 2024 CVT is said to flow around 2 times more air than last year. Wider clutch ratios and a larger drive belt were used to improve takeoff performance and CVT durability. Hitting the trail, the RZR's engine runs flawlessly. Its 3.5% horsepower increase was accompanied by a 10.5% increase in weight, slightly reducing its power-to-weight ratio. Although our drivers felt that the updated power, clutching, and throttle settings actually made the RZR feel a little peppier, accelerating from a dead stop or exiting turns. There's plenty of power on tap for most climbs, and as we've experienced, the 1000 is a capable dune machine in stock trim. We've always admired the broad power band and push you back in your seat performance that the XP 1000 delivers, and Polaris seems to have marginally improved on that in spite of its weight increase. The primary transmission has been beefed up with stronger gears and bushings. Reverse is now gear driven for improved strength, allowing Polaris to increase the torque output limit in reverse. The larger ratios in the CVT's clutching helped allow Polaris to lower gearing in the transmission's low range significantly. Our drivers felt this was a step forward. We typically don't employ low range unless we're operating below 15 miles per hour for a prolonged period of time. The lower gearing made popping up and over obstacles easier. It also keeps the clutch fully engaged at lower speeds, improving performance and reducing belt wear, especially when sizing up on tires. The transmission did not consistently go into gear when switching drive modes. Make sure it's fully in gear before gassing it to prevent damaging your transmission. The front differential is now rubber mounted to reduce sound and feedback felt through the chassis. The rear differential receives stronger gears to balance out the other driveline improvements. The axles have been strengthened with larger diameter shafts, larger splines on the outside, and joints on the inside. The rear axles are now installed with Loctite on the wheel end to improve wheel bearing durability. All-wheel drive ratios were altered, with the back tires turning slightly faster than the fronts to help push the back end around corners better for more predictable cornering. We're undecided on how big a difference this made in performance. We can say that Polaris all-wheel drive system performed flawlessly and was virtually undetectable, with the exception of added traction when needed. Chassis and suspension. Updates to the chassis begin with the frame. The bolted joint in the middle of the mainframe is now gone, replaced with a one-piece frame design. It features tie-down hooks at the back of the chassis for trailering, along with a slightly larger center-mounted rear tow hook. The roll cage has been beefed up and notably reinforced, with the mounts tucked away underneath the bodywork for a cleaner look. The result of the frame and chassis updates are said to be greater rigidity and a 25% increase in strength. The new front bumper features built-in tie-down hooks, Redesigned full coverage skid plates now wrap up on the leading edges under the wheel wells and on the sides of the bodywork for improved protection. Dual A-arm suspension is used up front, with strengthened shock mounts on the upper arms. The end of the trailing arms on the rear suspension has been strengthened with thicker steel and added gusseting. Built-in mounting holes allow for easy installation of trailing arm guards. Suspension at both ends is sway bar equipped. Suspension travel is on the longer end for a 64-inch wide side-by-side, with 16 inches of wheel travel front and 18 inches rear. It's controlled by 2-inch Walker Evans needle shocks front and 2.5-inch shocks rear on all trim packages. For 2024, the shocks have been significantly updated for a more compliant ride on tighter trails. Internal valving has been updated in addition to new springs with a dual rate setup front and a new triple rate spring setup used out back. They offer spring preload and 16-way compression damping adjustment. The extremes of compression damping adjustment make the ride nearly too soft or too stiff, with plenty of usable range in between. Stock shock settings are nearly spot on for all-around sport driving with 2 average-size adults. The shocks do well absorbing smaller hits while still offering plenty of bottoming resistance, which was not an issue throughout our testing. For rocks and ruts, articulation is decent in stock form, improving by backing off a few clicks on compression. For side hills and predictable weight transfer for cornering grip, we preferred a setting somewhere in the middle that would let the car settle. Overall, the suspension works very well, and we feel it offers the right amount of adjustability for most drivers. Steering has been updated to improve agility, with a 1.5 turn rack requiring less movement of the steering wheel. Power steering was recalibrated to work with the new rack, said to be tuned for improved steering feel. We found traction to be good in the dry and rocky conditions in which we tested, whether we were going up, down, or sideways. The XP1000 still measures in at 64 inches in width with a 90-inch wheelbase. Ground clearance has increased from 14 to 14.5 inches, thanks to the taller tires. The car's claimed dry weight has increased from 1,470 pounds in 2023 to 1,642 pounds for 2024. If that adds up to 172 pounds of added durability and refinement, we'll take it. The engine and suspension don't seem hampered by it. The RZR steers with agility and precision, enhanced with the revised steering rack and power steering. Power steering settings are still pleasantly light, doing well at filtering out harsh feedback, while providing a more connected feeling to the trail which we preferred. With all-wheel drive engaged and the shocks dialed in, the RZR transfers weight to the outside front tire, helping pull you through corners without excessive diving. Throttle up on a relatively smooth, consistent surface, and the RZR XP is a predictable drifter. The square tire setup adds to its willingness to hook up or drift on demand. The XP strikes a beautiful balance between high-speed stability and agility on tight trails. Its 64-inch width, average wheelbase, and responsive steering let you confidently cruise through sections where 72-inch wide machines will be tapping the brakes or making 4-point turns. It's a confident climber and descender, holding its own on side hills. Ground clearance was good in the rocks. Combined with its mid-length wheelbase, the RZR can climb over some impressive rock ledges without scuffing its new skid plates. We feel suspension and handling have improved for the tighter trails in our area on the 2024 model. However, everything done to the chassis and suspension should only improve its performance in the desert and dunes as well.
Cut.
Braking performance. Braking was recalibrated for 2024. The 4-wheel hydraulic disc brakes still feature dual piston calipers up front, with a switch to single piston calipers rear for improved balance and braking traction. On slow methodical descents, or braking hard to set up for a corner, our drivers felt braking power, feel, and bias were well dialed. Grip was easy to modulate, with enough power on tap that we could skid under braking if that was our intent. Overall, we had no complaints with the brakes. Interior and other details. Entering is easy on the 2024 RZR XP thanks to new rubber-sealed doors with hinges located up front. They open with a smooth operating push-button handle located on the top inside the doors. The inside of the doors are nicely finished with a handle for closing. They close tightly with no irritating rattles. The doors were a big upgrade, and they seem rather high-end on an entry-level sports side-by-side. New high-back bolstered seats are a bit more reclined and sit around an inch lower than before. This slightly improved comfort and handling sensitivity. The seats still have a small amount of play, but it seems significantly reduced compared to 2023. The driver's seat slider has been revised for easier operation when dirty. Both seats are removable with no tools for cleaning or maintenance. The tilt-adjustable steering wheel is compact and rubber-coated. It's been lowered and moved a bit closer, allowing more drivers to stay planted in the seat back while maneuvering. Combined with a steering rack, the ergonomic changes make the wheel easier to hold onto, improving control. The 4-point harnesses are not retractable, but they are easy to buckle and adjust. They're also quite comfortable and reassuring when pushing the limits. The infinitely adjustable passenger grab bar that can be removed and used as a lug wrench is comfortable and easy to hold onto, but it was a struggle to tighten down. The floor area has been redesigned. Both of our drivers wanted a steeper dead pedal on both sides of the cab for bolstering themselves on steep descents. The newly designed hood and dash with center-mounted instrument display provide an improved sightline at the ground in front of the car, with a new cage and roof allowing easy viewing up steep hills. The 4 Rockford Fosgate speakers are well positioned. After maxing out the EQ, we found the speakers to be a little too mid-range focused for our taste. We prefer our bass a little lower and our highs a little crisper. In-cab storage has increased with flip-top storage boxes located on top of the dash in front of the driver and passenger. The driver's box features a USB charging port. These are in addition to a passenger side glove box and dual cup holders. Out back, the bed can haul up to 300 pounds of cargo and features a back wall unlike some, helping make your items easier to secure. Switches are backlit for easy viewing, with cutouts already in place for additional accessory switch installation. A 6-position pulse bar allows for plug-and-play powering of accessories. LED lights are used at both ends, making the XP a capable night rider. Overall, interior and attention to detail seem to have been nicely addressed for 2024. Conclusion. Already one of our top picks for enthusiasts looking for all-around performance and capability in the $20,000 to $25,000 price range. We'd feel even more confident buying or recommending the RZR XP 1000 with all of its improvements in strength and attention to detail. Performance-wise, we'd consider it a threat to win a naturally aspirated 1000cc sport side-by-side shootout, even if we included the manual shift cars and those over 64 inches in width. The RZR XP 1000 has always done everything well, and it does it a little better for 2024. Don't fret if those $45,000 models are out of your price range. It's very likely that the RZR XP 1000 delivers all the performance you'll need, along with modern styling and appointments starting at under $21,000. All of its changes for 2024 continue to make the Polaris RZR XP 1000 a sport side-by-side that we'd be thrilled to own. For more information on the 2024 Polaris RZR XP 1000 and their full line of side-by-sides and ATVs, log on to polarisoffroad.com.